Hey there, Tyler from Supabase here. In this video, we're going to take a look at how you can connect a Supabase project to a Flutter application so that you can have a backend for your Flutter app. Let's dive in. We'll be building a note-taking app together. The first thing you want to do is set up your Supabase project. I've already created one, but if you haven't yet, you can go to supabase.com to create one. Now that we have a fresh new Supabase project, we can head over to creating our tables. There are two ways you can set up a table in Supabase, through the table editor or the SQL editor, but today we'll be using the table editor to create our tables. Let's create our first table. Let's give it a name. Let's call it Notes, since it's a note-taking app that we're creating today. We can untick this row-level security checkbox. This enables us to protect our databases from malicious attackers, but today we just want to get something up and running, so we can untick that, and we can enable real-time because we get to play around with the awesome real-time capability of Supabase. Now, if you scroll down, you'll see a few columns. ID and created app, I think we can leave them the way they are, and we can add a new body column that'll be type text that will hold the actual note body. We can leave it as a default null, and let's hit save to create our first table. Awesome! Now that we have a table set up, I think it's time to dive into some Flutter code. Here, I have an empty Flutter app. As you can see, it only has a scaffold with an app bar and a container. Let's start up by connecting our Supabase project to this Flutter app. Head over to pub.dev and search for Supabase Flutter. We can copy this code over to our pubspec.yaml file and hit save to run pub.get. Now head back to main.dart file, and let's start out by connecting our environments. You can do so by copy and pasting this initialization code. Let's copy this portion right here into our main function, and we can make this async. We can import all the code that we need. Now, we are required to have a Supabase URL and Supabase anon key. We can get them by visiting our Supabase project. Head over to Settings, API, and here's the project URL. So that's the Supabase URL, and we have the anon key. These keys are meant to be exposed to the clients, and the way you can secure your app is through the row-level security that we touched a little bit earlier, but we just want to get something up and running today, so we won't worry too much about security. But that's it. Our app is connected to our Supabase project, and we are actually ready to interact with our tables. Let's start up by adding a feature where a user can add a new note. I'm going to drop in some code here. So we can start up by adding a new floating action button, and then pressing that button should open a new dialog. This dialog has a text form field, so the users can add whatever text they want to, and then submitting that form field should insert that data into our Supabase instance. Let's take a closer look. So we have the supabase.instance.client. This is how you can access your Supabase client that was initialized. Then we have the from method. This means that we're accessing the notes table, and then we are inserting a value, whatever value the user enters into this text form field, and passing it to the body key that we created, the body column that we created earlier. Let's take a look at how this turns out. Users can tap, add a new note, something interesting, and hit done. Let's take a look if this created a new note. We can go back to our Supabase project and hit refresh in our table editor. As you can see, we have this something interesting note created. Now that we can create a new note from our app, let's see if we can display those notes in our app. Let's go back to our app code, and let's create a stream builder to listen to real-time changes. We're going to start up by creating a new stream. Let's call it Note Stream. And we are going to access the same Supabase instance, so supabase.client instance.client. we're going to call the from methods to access our notes table. And we are going to utilize this stream feature where we can get real-time changes of our databases. Now that we have our stream in a variable, we can create our stream builder. So let's create the stream builder. The data type of this stream is going to be a list of map of key of string and then a type dynamic. And we are going to pass that stream right here. And then we can create our builder methods. This is just some standard stuff. If the snapshot doesn't have a data, we're just going to show a progress bar. And if it has a data, we're going to extract that data into this notes variable. Note that this is type of list of map. Now that we have this variable handy, we can create a list view builder. So the item count is going to be however many nodes there are. And then item builder, we're just returning a simple list tile with a text widget inside, and the body is the main title field. Let's hit save and see what this looks like. It looks pretty good. Let's try to add a new note so we can say something like something more interesting, because I am very creative. And let's hit done and see that we have a new note created in our app. Let's go back to our table editor, hit refresh, and see that this something more interesting is right there inserted in our table. And that's how easy it is to get started with Flutter and Supabase. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and join our Discord community. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time with more Flutter and Supabase contents.